Hi, welcome to another webcast by FJGG. My name is Cindy Manzano. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am a practicing attorney. I've been practicing since 1994. I'm fluent in Spanish, and I've been here at FJGG for over 25 years, 20 of them as a shareholder or partner. Today's topic is going to be a little bit different. We're going to be talking about animals. What does a landlord or a property manager actually need to know about animals, or tenants for that matter? So first of all, let's take a look at what we know. Sometimes we have people who want to rent properties but do not want any pets in the properties. So what do we do if someone says that they have a service animal or an emotional support animal? Okay, first things first, you need to know that neither a service animal or an emotional support animal are technically considered pets under Colorado law. So I'm an attorney that does real estate law. I do association law, construction law, tenant landlord law. This is really important because you can get into trouble by saying, nope, sorry, no pets allowed. So what is an actual service animal? That one's a lot easier to understand for most people because it's usually pretty obvious. You can think about the person who may be blind who has a dog assisting him or her. That is an obvious disability and an obvious animal that has been trained to help that person. In the case of that being the tenant who wants to have their dog, it's a no-brainer. You typically need to allow that dog to be there, and they're typically trained and will not cause problems to the property or be violent, but there could be exceptions. So see an attorney, call me if you have questions, or contact me. My email is cindy@frascona.com. There could be other types of service animals, but the more confusing topic is the emotional support animal. So we're going to talk about them more today. What is an emotional support animal? Well, unlike a service animal, an emotional support animal is not trained. It can be a cat or a dog who just happens to live with a person, and that particular person might have anxiety or depression or something else and has gone to see a medical professional either in person or through telehealth. And that licensed professional, who could be a counselor, a therapist, or primary care physician, for example, has stated in a letter that the tenant needs this animal, or sometimes more than one, for emotional support. If you receive a request from someone to have an emotional support animal, you cannot just say no because you have a no pets policy. Please first contact me or another attorney to discuss the issue, but typically they will be allowed. There are some exceptions, so please discuss with an attorney. I created some forms years ago, which I update and I sell at our website, which is frascona.com, to assist landlords and property managers in providing documentation to their tenants so that they can fill those forms out and provide the necessary information to evaluate whether or not they have a proper emotional support animal. They can, under the law, also use their own documentation, but I've provided them because over the years, I've just received so many questions about this area of the law and what to do. And I don't want people to fall into trouble. For example, we have had people who have said categorically, no, sorry, I don't allow pets. And then there can be repercussions. So please just be careful in this situation and get some legal advice. Other examples that could be tricky could be, what if you're renting a property that has several different rooms? For example, it's close to the university and you're renting, to different tenants. What if one of the tenants wants to have their emotional support cat present while another might be allergic to cats. That can be very tricky, so it's very important to consult an attorney and how to properly handle that situation. Also, there could be situations where it's just very burdensome for the landlord or the property manager to have a certain type of animal there, financially or otherwise. So there are times to please consult and make sure that you get some answers to specific questions. This webcast can't cover all situations. So please feel free to give me a call at Frascona or send me an email, cindy@frascona.com, if you have questions, or visit our website to order our forms to figure out what to do if someone has a question about whether or not they can allow an emotional support animal into the property. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.